North win by a final score of 65-63, and now they are meeting here in Alabama, specifically in Monroeville. Delgado's Dolphins and the Coyotes of coastal Alabama North. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. Opening tip controlled by Delgado. Miracle Irving, Armani Gordon, Lavia Brumfield, Asia Ward, and Ariana Bibbs on the floor for the Dolphins. Meanwhile, Coyotes countering with Taylor Murph, Tajay Young, Tiffany Goodman, Tamari Smalls, and Shantae Sanders. Opening possession, a no-go for Delgado. Smalls getting it out front to Goodman. Opposite side, Murph bringing it baseline. Trying to get the reverse, no good. Rebounded by Bibbs. So both teams with the possession. And both teams without a point as there was a foul. And let's see if it was Murph on a reach or Sanders on a slap. And it is a Sanders slap. So first trip to the stripe comes from Delgado. Shantae Sanders, the freshman, getting her first start of the year tonight. Asia Ward, 5'6" freshman from LaPlace, Louisiana, at the line. And breaks the ice not quite a minute into the game. She'll hit both. It's a 2-zip Delgado lead. Well, there was basketball slated to take place here on Saturday of last week, but some problems with the gymnasium floor kept that from happening. But they've got this floor repaired, looking good. Sanders, just a little bit strong. Small coming down with the board. Gives over to Goodman. Into the corner, Murph, and Murph walks. Smalls, the top rebounder in the ACCC Division II. And easy to see why. She was in the right place at the right time so frequently. Fan back over to Bibbs, fires the three ball, no good. Rebound belonging to Gordon. That is a three from Brumfield, the miss. Trying to get the scoop. Ward is fouled. And let's see who picked up the personal. Looked like Small was in the neighborhood. Delgado back at the stripe, trying to add to a 2-zip game. First couple of points came from the line at the 9:07 mark. Looks like at least your next, maybe your next two, coming from the line at the 8:19 mark. And thus far, Delgado perfect to the line. And as a result, a 4-zip lead. First of a couple of games. These games originally slated for a 5:30 and 7:30 start. But moved up a half hour. Young dropping in the three. And didn't take long to take a big bite out of a 4-point advantage. Young dropping in the three. And Murph on a reach, I believe. Let's see, yep. Non-shooting foul. It'll be brought in from the baseline by Brumfield. Running out of time, but able to eventually find Gordon. Got it in the allotted 5. Back over it goes to Brumfield. Loose ball retrieved by Young. Young out ahead of the pack. Lost control of the dribble. It'll go out of bounds. And it'll be Delgado with the basketball put in play by Irving. Over to Gordon, and Gordon gives a look to the other end of the floor. And then makes her way that direction. That will get out of the fingertips of Bibbs. Make that M's, by the way. Got to get some stronger reading glasses. It is EBBS, not BIBBS. So off the fingertip of M's. Coyotes looking to take their first lead of the game. Topside Smalls, and there's a walk. Second turnover of the contest and the evening for the Coyotes via the walk. Murph did it once, Smalls does it once. Four free throws and a Young three. That's what we've got thus far. Smalls with a steal. Feeds over to Goodman. Long two from Young. It's just a little bit short. Rebound belonging to Gordon. Gordon working in and out of the arc and gives over to Irving. Irving outside of the paint, pulls up. Nothing there, feeds into the paint. Off the glass and rattled in. First field goal of the night. Ward for Delgado. Young into the corner to Murph. Back out to Young, fires over to Goodman. Thought about the three, puts it on the floor. Young's got it out front. Smalls looking to Murph, drawing the double team out front. Young over to Murph. 3 on the shot clock, 2 on the shot clock. There is a reach. And let's see if there is a foul. There will be. It'll be charged to Gordon. So Gordon picking up the personal. Young to put it in play for the baseline. Got Jason Thompson in Bay Minette as the foul is called while Smalls puts the shot up. Lady Coyotes taking on Southwest Mississippi tonight. And Jason Thompson on the call there. I think that game got underway at 5 o'clock as well. Smalls, a 60% free throw shooter, averaging 11 points a contest. Nearly as many rebounds as points. 10.7 boards, 11 points per game. Out of the hands of Gordon. Got a new face on the floor for the Dolphins. As that is over to Brumfield, pulls up near the elbow, just a little bit strong. That is Jalen Miller, who is checked into the game for Delgado. Murph out to Young, over to Goodman, puts up the three, it's too strong. Murph able to grab the board, back to the glass. It's not there, it'll go out of bounds. And last got the fingertips of Miller. So the Coyotes will maintain control as Sinira Addison comes into the game for the Dolphins. Over to Goodman, back to Young. And Young's pass to Murph, stolen away by Gordon. Nice feed down low, but Irving not able to cap it off. And there was a bump as Goodman takes it baseline. That'll be charged to Miller. Non-shooting foul brought in from the baseline. Into the game, Janaria Lennox for the Coyotes. Brianna Tillman checking into the game for the Dolphins. Off the glass for Sanders. Her first 2 of the night. And the Coyotes have tied it up at 6. Tried to the glass by Brumfield, comes up just a little bit short. The loose ball, Lennox retrieves. Over it goes to Murph. Down the floor, Sanders led her a little too much. And it'll be Dolphin basketball. And we have hit the media timeout. 4:32 to go in the opening stanza. Coyotes and Dolphins tied at 6.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone. Because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. We don't care where you've been, only where you're going and how we can help you get there. Here, instead of getting lost in the crowd, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, Coyotes. You'll experience new possibilities and emerge stronger, more knowledgeable, together. That's the Pack. That's Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Coming out of the timeout, the feet underneath, a miss by Addison, but there is a whistle. No foul, just went out of bounds off of a Coyote. Dolphins will bring it in for the baseline. So we enter the first media timeout in a tie game at 6. Over it goes to Irving. Stolen away by Goodman. 2-on-1, Coyotes with the numbers. Back to Goodman. She'll draw the foul, and the Coyotes have got their first lead. Goodman of the strike, 9.3 points a game, a 50% free throw shooter. And I got a feeling just like a year ago as the rebound belongs to Sanders. Back it goes to Murph. Excellent ball movement. Lennox popping the 2. Coyotes taking their first lead to this end of the floor. 9-6 advantage. Over to Addison. That is Irving dropping in the 3. Knots it up at 9. Murph trying to get into Sanders. Loose ball tracked down by Goodman in the corner. Back out it goes to Murph. The defending ACCC D2 champions in ladies basketball north. There's a 3 ball from Lennox. Coyotes have got their biggest lead at 4. Tipped away by Murph. Able to go back and get it was Brumfield. Irving working into the timeline. Puts up the 3. Too strong, Murph with it. Slides through Dolphins, drops in the 2, and a timeout on the floor asked for by the Dolphins as the Coyotes grow the lead to 6. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the opening stanza of play. And the Coyotes building a 6-point lead after falling behind early 4-zip. And you got a jump ball in the corner. The possession arrow will keep us on this end of the floor. Into the ball game for the Coyotes is Kylie Crusoe. Well, and now the officials say the possession arrow should have been pointing the other way. And it'll be Coyote basketball. Down low, give to Smalls. And there is a blocking foul. Ariel Gilchrist into the game, too, for the Coyotes. As it'll be put in play from the baseline. Nope, it'll be shot at the stripe. So the Dolphins have committed 5 personals. That will have the Coyotes going to the stripe, the rest of the quarter. Smalls, a 60% free throw shooter, missing on the first of 2. Second shot no good, but Gilchrist down with the rebound. Lennox hairball on the 3. And it'll be Dolphins basketball. First of a couple of games tonight from Monroeville there in Bay Minette. And Coastal South, that is a single game. A flag football coming to the ACCC at halftime. We'll give you some highlights from a press conference announcing that fact in Montgomery on Tuesday. Over to Irving. Outside of the arc, it goes to Ward. Drives off the glass. Rebounded by Smalls. Lennox feeding to Crusoe. It is swatted away by Tillman. Coyotes to put it in play from the baseline. Goodman backs up, shoots the 6-footer. Put back by Smalls, not there. Addison with a board, goes over to Irving. Irving near the timeline, left side. Directing a little traffic. And a screen set by Tillman. And then Gordon with a line drive shot for 2. Over to Crusoe, puts it on the floor once. Wide open in the corner was Gilchrist. Instead, the give to Goodman. That is Crusoe from way out front. Misses by a few. And it'll be Delgado Dolphin basketball. Shot clock off. 24 seconds remaining on the game clock in the first. Out front to Irving. Drifts around right side. 3 balls short. Tipped by Crusoe and loose ball retrieved by Irving. Too strong on the 2 and Crusoe grabs it at the end of the quarter. So we have played 1 and after 1. Coyotes by 4.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Well, there's some folks that'll be coaching game number 2. Coach Taylor is assistant coach, and then, of course, law enforcement here. Campus police and Coastal Alabama North. As we get into quarter number 2. 4-point Coyote lead. I don't know if there's any irony to the 4-point lead, but it was a 4-point Dolphin lead that started the quarter. It's a 4-point Coyote lead that ends the quarter. Put back is good by Ems. Off the miss by Gordon. Crusoe over to Goodman, into the corner to Gilchrist. Lennox has got it. Opposite side, Gilchrist through the fingers, out of bounds, Dolphin basketball. And you got a foul of the offensive variety. And that is going to be charged to Ems. So Ems with a personal. Coyotes clinging to a 2-point lead. Largest was 6. Largest Dolphin lead 4. Stolen right back by Lennox. Gets ahead of the pack, lays it up, lays it in. Lead back to 4 for the Coyotes. Thinking about something for way out front was Ward. Instead, feeds to Irving, and there is a whistle and foul. Put in play from the baseline by Irving. 5'4" freshman from Amity, Louisiana. I'm taking a guess at the name pronunciation. Nice feed down low. Ward with a miss on an easy 2. Crusoe bringing it baseline. Held it on the hip for a bit, gives it out front to Lennox. Second meeting between these two. They met on the 11th of November. And on that particular day, it was Tamira Smalls with a total of 22 and 14 boards. The other double-digit scorer came off the bench, Tiffany Goodman, who did not start on that particular day. Scored 16. Into the game is Tashana Key as Crusoe comes out. In play to Gordon, gives into the paint. Ems trying to coax it over the rim. Lennox with it. Over to Goodman at the stripe, plants 2. Brumfield with it out front. Goes over to Ems. Irving near the timeline. Feeds back to Brumfield. Drives. Left-hander no good. That is Lennox in and out of the arc. Another new face on the floor. Rihanna Jean as Goodman drops in the 3. 9-point lead, biggest of the ball game for the Coyotes. Down low to Gordon. Rebounded and then bounced out of bounds by Jean. But there was a reason it was bounced out of bounds. The foul by Gordon. Meanwhile, Ebbs out of the game, Tillman back in for the Dolphins. Gilchrist leaving for the Coyotes, and Young back into the lineup. Over to Young, gives to Goodman. Lobs it down low to Key. Off the glass, the rim, no good. Jean's board, Gilman make that Goodman's ball. Over to Young, and Young's got her second three of the game. And the Coyotes have got their first double-digit lead. (25-13) advantage, Coyotes. That'll go out of bounds and belong to the team in gold. Put in play by Jean to Lennox. Screen set by Jean. Back over it goes to Jean. Gets it to Key, and Key gets bumped by Tillman. So a non-shooting foul, and we brought in from the baseline. Coach Fields saying, I'm not sure about that one. And now you got a foul on Key. So the Dolphins with the basketball, looking for their first win of the year. Lady Coyotes, one more outing before Thanksgiving. Actually, two more, but one more here. And then one more here is Saturday against Albany Tech. Monday, they head to Enterprise State. That's a big game because it is conference play. All the other games, not irrelevant, but not relevant like a conference game. Gordon fouled on the trip in. The buzzer you heard was the end of 30 seconds. The foul came first. And there was a timeout on the floor and belongs to us, the media. Coyotes by 12.
There once was a young coyote.
You're fired.
He found himself ill-suited for the jobs of the world. He struggled to compete in the corporate environment.
Yeah, this isn't working out.
And failed at the simplest of tasks.
I think I'm gonna have to let you go.
No matter how hard he tried, his coyote hands were just not meant for regular jobs.
That guy is fired.
Until one day, when he was hired for the perfect job. To become a mascot. And then he found the place where he could thrive. Find the place where you thrive at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, they came out on the timeout a little quicker than anticipated. The foul on Tillman. And Tillman will go to the stripe and shoot. Just a tad under half of the quarter to go. In a 25-13 contest, Tillman, another one of the many freshmen. As a matter of fact, there are only 3 non-freshmen on this Delgado squad. from Tickfaw, Louisiana. Trims the lead to 10. Murph quickly down the floor. Over it goes to Young. I'd make that Jean. Now to Young. Back to Jean. Young's got it in front of the bench for Delgado. Fed to Key. And she'll bank it off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Irving. Pull-up jumper. The long two is perfect for Brumfield. Fed over to Jean. She'll put up the 15-footer and nail it. Handed back over to Addison. Irving into the paint. Can't get a good look because of Murph. Able to get a nice feed, though, to Addison. And Addison with the two. That was a patient look by Irving. Waiting for Addison to come open, or somebody. Nice feed to Key, and Key for two. Over goes to Gordon. Brings it down low. Goodman closing the back door and give to Tillman. Tillman short. It is saved by Goodman to Young. Over to Murph. Murph banks it. Coyotes over the 30-point barrier. Inside 3 to play. Half number 1. And it's a long three from Irving. Too long. Rebounded by Gordon. And she'll get fouled by Goodman, I believe. Key was in the area too, but I think it was Goodman that reached in and made contact. Well, they're going to say the ball actually went out of bounds off of a Dolphin. No foul committed. And thus the whistle. Tillman out. Ems back in. Gordon out. And it is Warren coming back into the ball game for the Coyotes. Make that for the Dolphins. Young misfiring on the three, rebounded by Small, gives it over to Murph. Small back into the game. Wow, what a pass to Lennox. Thread of the needle. Short on the three, try by Ward. Into the corner to Young. And she'll shove it towards the glass from 8 feet out. And the Coyotes building a nice lead, prompting a Dolphin timeout with less than 2 minutes to play in the half.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone. Because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, Coyotes. That's the Pack. That's Coastal Alabama.
And Coyote fans of all ages here tonight, enjoying this halftime advantage of 16 by the Coyotes with 1:58 to play. Half number 1. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll give you excerpts from that news conference on Tuesday. The ACCC will have flag football next year. And we've condensed about a 30-minute news conference into a 14-minute halftime. So we'll get that to you at the half. Ball loose on the floor, paddle to get it back. There was a jump ball, and the possession arrow has us headed to the Coyote end of the floor. Gordon back into the game, Irving out for the Dolphins. Coyotes' best performance offensively of the year was a 65-point performance against these Dolphins. Around right now, halfway to 70. With a minute 25 left to play in the half. Stolen away by Small. Goes to the glass, lays it up and in. And the Coyotes by 18. Down it goes to Ward, into the paint, shoots over Lennox, off the glass. Small with the board, gives over to Murph. Slings into the corner, Lennox puts up the three, she drops it in. And the Coyotes by 21. There is an offensive charge to Gordon. And Coyotes with a basketball for what they hope is the last possession of the first half. Out front it goes to Young, shoots the three, nibbles the rim. Rebounded by Ebbs and given to Brumfield, lost it. Sanders finds it. Murph off the glass. And the two tens tangle. Got a jump ball, and we got the end of a half. So it is halftime. And at the half, Coyotes with the impressive 40-19 lead. Well, we promised you part of that news conference on Tuesday, the announcing of flag football coming to the ACCC. That is right after the break.
But today we're gathered to announce and celebrate the official start of women's flag football beginning in the fall of 2025. This new and exciting sport is going to bring additional opportunities to female student athletes and provide that additional opportunity for them to continue the sport that they love. As we have seen, and you will hear more later, the sport has exploded on the Parks and Recreation level, as well as the high school athletic association in our state. In 2024, the AHSAA will have 113 teams competing for a state championship. That is a 289% increase from 2021. The conference felt the need that we needed to capitalize on that growth and popularity while providing female student athletes an opportunity to continue the sport that they love. And I keep saying provide an opportunity for female student athletes, and that's what drove this a lot. This process actually began in the fall of 2021 with the High School Association gradually growing high school flag football, and we started that communication with our member presidents and athletic directors. As we gauged the local interest in the sport as well as the national landscape, we felt that flag football was a very viable option for us. This past summer, we were able to meet with Steve Brown and Natalie Norman with the Alabama Recreation and Parks Association, as well as Alvin Briggs, who was then the executive director of the high school association. The National Junior College Athletic Association certified this sport 3 years ago, and our sport will be played in the spring along with NCAA and NAIA teams. The spring season will consist or may consist of a maximum of 16 games with 2 scrimmages. And our conference members may award up to 15 tuition fee and books scholarships. Teams will also be allowed a fall season, which they may consist of practices and 4 scrimmage dates as well. At this time, I would like to introduce NFL Flag Executive Director and CEO of RCX Sports, Isaiah Reese. Mr. Reese is a native of Dothan and an alumnus of UAB, where he excelled in football as a safety and actually looked like you could still guard somebody running a post. He was then drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in 1998 and went on to play 7 NFL seasons with 3 teams. He was a class of 2024 inductee in the UAB Sports Hall of Fame, and it's my honor and privilege to introduce Mr. Isaiah Reese.
Thank you. I think every time I get the opportunity to be a part of something like this is definitely an exciting moment, and Dean definitely covered a lot and made my job real easy up here. And I do want to acknowledge the Alabama High School Athletic Association. And that's where it kind of started, and started with the NFL and having this opportunity to oversee NFL flag on their behalf. And I took over that position, back in 2019. And we all know what kind of happened around that time, unfortunately. But 2 of the things that they looked at is let's make sure that all kids are having that opportunity to play and participate at all levels. And also, we want you to make it a high priority for females to have the opportunity to play flag football. And so we were spinning our wheels on how we're going to get more young ladies wanting to play this sport. And it became clear to me the first time I saw an NFL flag tournament and I saw those young ladies playing. And you could see the passion, no different than when I played the game of tackle. But what you didn't see was a path. They didn't have a path to continue to play. So you had teenagers playing, you had girls of all ages. They got a chance to play and be a part of NFL flag in select locations, but they didn't have a path to continue to play. So now to be a part of it and hearing Dean speak about all these phenomenal opportunities that are now going to come at the junior college and community college level here in the state, along with NAIA that's been mentioned and NCAA that's been mentioned, that's how it kind of all came about. And I'm fortunate that the NFL said, yes, let's support this, let's help it grow. Let's work with all collegiate associations, let's work with intramurals, let's work with high school associations. And so I live in Atlanta now. And I was there when they announced that they were sanctioning the sport. And a few weeks after that, I called Alvin and Alabama High School Athletic Association, and I said, hey, if we could get this sanctioned in the state, would you do it? 2 seconds, absolutely. I immediately called the Atlanta Falcons, and I said, hey, they want to launch it in the state. Would you support it? Absolutely. And that's where we are. And to see this kind of growth that we're seeing in the state, I think you said 200+% of growth. Nationwide now it's 100% growth year over year. So it's close to 50,000 high school young ladies playing flag football at the high school level, which is phenomenal. It is the fastest growing sport, arguably ever. There's never been a sport to grow that fast with females, and it continues to skyrocket. I'm on the call now with NCAA every other day. I told them about this announcement that was coming, and they were thrilled about it, because these young ladies that are playing at 2-year institutions, what do they want to do next? Go and play at 4-year institutions. So NAI and NCAA are thrilled about this announcement, and I know these young ladies are going to be thrilled when they hear about it that are playing in high school around this state and surrounding states now that this opportunity will exist. So on behalf of the National Football League, RCX Sports, the state of Alabama, my proud home state, and most of the people in this room. I commend you all and commend you, Dean, in leading this charge, and all the colleges that are coming on board of continuing to be a part of this movement and open this door for young women and giving them the opportunity to play. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to introduce Natalie Norman, who is the Executive Director of the Alabama Recreation and Parks Association.
Thank you, Commissioner Meyer. Appreciate it. Most of these are blank, but don't worry. It is thick, but a lot of them don't have anything on it. So appreciate the privilege of being here on behalf of the Alabama Recreation and Parks Association and our foundation. We appreciate the privilege of being here for this announcement. It's huge from a grassroots perspective, which is where we come in. ARPA has our membership as municipalities and counties, Parks and Recreation Department. So it's a privilege for us. We can't use the word opportunity enough. We've heard it several times already. So this is giving us an opportunity to provide from a grassroots level. We have the student athlete at high school, we have the student athlete at the collegiate level, and we have the community athlete at the Parks and Recreation level. So it provides great opportunity for them, those participants, and how do we grow girls in sport. So a huge deal for our foundation. How do we grow girls in sport? I do know now that why I didn't get an umbrella escort this morning while it was pouring down rain. I was texting my friend Steve Brown over here and colleague, hey, could you have an umbrella and come help me out? And didn't hear from him, but then I got up here and a few minutes later he comes in with Isaiah. So anyway, know why I didn't get that response. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. At least it was Isaiah. I can understand that. We appreciate our relationship with NFL Flag through Parks and Recreation. 8 years ago, we probably had about 8 teams playing in our flag program. Since we've gone to NFL Flag, we run our recreational sports through ARPA. So since we've gone to NFL Flag over the last 4 years, we've grown, and we've heard big percentages, so 400% since then. We had less than 50 communities playing flag, and now we have over 500 teams playing flag. Not all boys, not all girls, some boys, so we have approximately 250,000 kids playing through our Parks and Recreation departments through ARPA. 37% of those participants are girls. So for us, it's how do we grow that number? How do we get more girls in sport, and how do we grow that number? So our folks, our members, we're one of the largest providers of out-of-school time programming. So it's very important for us to offer a multitude of sports and a multitude of programs for our citizens. But how do we grow girls' sport in Alabama? How do we retain them? And how do we keep them playing in the game? Because 60 to 70% of those that are playing drop by the age of 13. So when you're talking about 37% of girls participating in 250,000, how do we keep that number at 92.5 participating, and how do we keep that 60 to 70% that drop, which is a big number in that? And that's a huge piece for us, and being involved with this is huge. Our foundation, we're looking to go into communities, and the reason why we're associated with this awesome announcement today is it helps us to provide the opportunity. And how do we provide the opportunity? We take away barriers. We take away, we make them affordable, accessible, and equitable, and we want our kids to be able to participate. And that's how we see that opportunity come to fruition. So through our foundation, we're providing multiple safe and age-appropriate athletic programs. We want to positively affect the underserved areas in our state. We're going into the underserved areas in our state. This is a huge piece for us to be able to say, hey, grassroots, high school, collegiate, and give them that vision, help them have that vision of where they can go in playing flag football. So it's our passion, it's our mission. I have with us, with our president of our foundation, Kay McCreary, over here. Kay played on the first softball team at Auburn University, played basketball for Auburn University, has 42 years in Parks and Recreation, and she's the president of our foundation board. Tommy Agee, raise your hand, Tommy. Tommy has over 26 years in the profession, Parks and Recreation, played football at Auburn University, War Eagle, and also was on two-time Super Bowl champion with Dallas. So more important than those things, though, are impacting the youth of our state. And I think I can speak, I know them well enough to speak for them. So the most important thing is how do we impact the youth in our state. I want to thank Alvin Briggs, retired, for being here. Appreciate everything you've done. Steve Brown, thank you so much for everything you've done and getting this partnered and going. So we have the passion, right? It starts with passion. It's going to passion here, and we appreciate the passion y'all have enough to get this implemented and have it offered to our girls. So we want to provide that sense of teamwork and that sense of belonging to girls in sport, and that mental and physical wellness that all of our kids get through sport. And particularly now this will be in our Alabama Community College Conference. So big deal. So how do we grow it? We give them the opportunity, and we appreciate that. Thank you for doing this. And on behalf of Alabama Recreation and Parks Association and Foundation, it's our honor to be with you 100% and do whatever we can to help this move forward. So thank you. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Natalie. We will be highlighting this over the next few months. There'll be announcements coming out with the hiring of coaches and all of that. So our fall season will start September-ish, fall of 2025, and then our first official championship season will be the spring of 26. We do have schools that have expressed interest in coming in the fall of 26, so we do expect that number to grow. So again, thank you all so much for coming and your support of the conference, the system, as well as Flex.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Welcome back as we get ready for second half action in a ball game that sees the Coyotes lead at 40-19 at the half. And by the way, if you joined late in the halftime and wondered what those variety of guests were referencing, flag football, it was part of a news conference that was held this week at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, announcing the fact that the ACCC would be home to flag football next year as we get third stanza action underway. Taking a look at the Coyotes, looks like they've got the exact same five that started the game on the floor to begin half number 2. In Young, Sanders, Smalls, Goodman, and Murph. Where the Dolphins are concerned, some differences. They've got Irving, Brumfield, and now Gordon comes on the floor. She was on the sidelines. They only had 4 players when play actually resumed. And those 3 started the first half. But Addison and Miller in And both did not start half number 1, but do half number 2. And by the way, it is third stanza action. We are integrated into the scoreboard across the way. So I can manually try to make it say third, and it will hold for a moment, and then kick back to what's on the scoreboard here, which currently says period number 2. So that's why you see that third occasionally change to second. In a 42-19 game. Goodman putting up the 3 ball just a little bit strong. Rebounded by Smalls, and she walked. And let's see what this is about. Got a foul call on the Dolphins on the trip down. And it'll be Coyote basketball, 90 seconds into the half. Here comes Ebbs onto the floor. Coming out of the game is Miller. And the Coyotes to put it in play from the opposite side of the floor. Goodman to Murph. Sanders, nothing in the paint, feeds it out to Young. Down low, Goodman, the intended target, it is tipped away by Irving. Into the hands of Addison, back to Irving. Jumper no good from Ebbs. Smalls for the charity stripe, got rim window in 2. And the Coyotes with 2 second-half buckets, Dolphins with none. And the Coyotes able to add to what was a 21-point lead. Rebounded by Goodman. Murph in the paint. And there is a foul on the Murph drive. So Taylor Murph going to the stripe. Stand out a year ago for these Coyotes as a freshman, now as a sophomore. 71% free throw shooter, 9 points a game for the sophomore, who is 1 of 3 to start every game this year. Well, that was coming into tonight. Now you've got 2, Smalls and Murph, that have started every game for the Coyotes. Over it goes to Irving. Topside give to Brumfield. Out to set the screen, Ebbs. Young stepping around the screen and then fouled Gordon. Make that Brumfield trying to get the ball back, or actually get the ball. She had reached in, nearly took it away, and then just kind of worked a little extra effort at taking it away and committed the foul. So Brumfield to put it in play, does so to Gordon. Checking into the lineup, Diana Grace Nelson for the Coyotes. Dolphins with their first second-half bucket. Over it goes to Nelson. Air ball on the 3, retrieved by Irving. Goes into the corner. That is Brumfield off the rim with the 3 try. And that'll go out of bounds, tipped out of bounds by Gordon. Nelson puts it in play, 25-point North lead. Young's got her third three. Brumfield to the right side, or back that Irving. Out it goes to Gordon. Zips it over to Ems. Ems turns, draws the Sanders foul. And here comes Lennox into the game. Well, going to the stripe is Ems. And Goodman coming out as Lennox goes in. Ems, the 5'9" freshman from St. Francisville, Louisiana. Played her prep ball at West Feliciana. She'll hit both, turn it into a 49-23 game. Tillman into the game, and out will go Ems for the Dolphins. That is a long two that's not quite long enough for Young. Down the floor to Irving. Over to Young, looking down low. Back it goes to Lennox, who was checked into the lineup. Driving at baseline, puts up the right-hander, and did she draw the foul or commit the foul? Looks like she drew it. And Lennox with a two-shot foul. Lennox a 50% free throw shooter. One start this year. Averaging 6 points a game, the sophomore, who was a big contributor to last year's success as well. Goes 1 of 2. And if you're looking at the best Coyote performance of the year, they are 15 shy of that. It's 65, the first meeting between the Dolphins and the Coyotes. Governor Young thought about the three, puts it on the floor, and goes to Nelson. Nelson left open for the three ball off the rim. Rebounded by Smalls. She'll bring it back to the glass, just a little bit short. Snagged by Tillman. Open lane, somebody left the back door open, and exploiting that fact was Brumfield. Over it goes to Young, back out front. That is Lennox with it. Gives a glance to the sidelines, instructions from Coach Mandy Armstrong. There is Lennox, off the window for three. On the other end of the floor, Irving matching the three. Got the steal by Gordon. Over it goes to Irving. Steps around Young, off the glass and rim for two. And stepping onto the floor before releasing the ball is Nelson and the Coyotes. And it'll be Dolphin basketball, but I think it will happen after the timeout. First dead ball after the 5-minute mark is typically the media timeout. And it looks like it will be here as well with 3:35 remaining in the third.
There once was a young coyote.
You're fired.
He found himself ill-suited for the jobs of the world. He struggled to compete in the corporate environment.
Yeah, this isn't working out.
And failed at the simplest of tasks.
I think I'm gonna have to let you go.
No matter how hard he tried, his coyote hands were just not meant for regular jobs.
That guy is fired.
Until one day, when he was hired for the perfect job. To become a mascot. And then he found the place where he could thrive. Find the place where you thrive at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Three minutes, 19 seconds to play in the third. Coyotes with a 21-point lead. Dolphins have not been able to take anything off of that halftime lead of 21. As a matter of fact, at one point, the Coyotes had built into about 26. Back to a 21-point lead with 3:10 to play in the stanza. Dolphins with the basketball. Swatted away from Irving, able to get it back. Young defending, reaches in and played a little too tight. And will be charged with a foul. Non-shooting foul, fourth of the quarter. But the next Coyote infraction will have a Dolphin shooting, if it happens in the next 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Murph into the game. And out will go Young. Also, Gilchrist is checked into the game. Nelson has come out. That happened during the timeout. Into the corner to Tillman, eventually to Irving. Irving bringing it. Trying to shoot around Sanders. Sanders coming down with the rebound off the bounce. Gives it over to Lennox. And Lennox will bang it off the leg of Irving. Coyotes to put it in play from the near sideline. Jumper Murph, too strong. Able to get it back though out front. Pull up a little bit too strong from Lennox. Ripping down the board is Tillman. And there is a Coyote foul, and that's going to have us going to the line. Shooting those 1-and-1s. So Tillman to shoot. Trying to, for the first time in the second half, get the game inside 21. Misfiring on the first. And missing on the second. The putback by Ebbs not there. Rebounded by Lennox. Fed into the paint. Smalls off the glass. Irving's got a timeline left side. Out to defend is Murph. Coming over to help Gilchrist in his fan to Gordon. And then Gilchrist reached in. And Gordon will apparently go to the line shooting. Inside a couple of minutes to play in the third. First of a couple of games. These games originally slated for a 5:30 start, but instead get a 5 p.m. beginning, which means the guys who are slated to begin at 7:30 will start somewhere around 7 o'clock. Gilchrist with a rebound, brings it to the other end of the floor, tries to feed it over to Murph. Tipped out of bounds by Gordon. Well, I see the athletic director and all the Coastals, Daniel Hand, in our midst. And Coastal North baseball coach Keith Griffin here. Well, he supports a lot of North athletics. I see him at North volleyball, North basketball. And obviously you're going to see him at North baseball. Hams back over to Irving. Irving top side, putting up the three. She'll rattle it in. And with a minute to go in the third, it is a 22-point game. Lennox with a miss. And Tillman walked with it in the corner. Fan to Small. Small with the turnaround. Small with the two. Ems drives and shoots over Jean. Off the glass with the Gilchrist, too. It is retrieved by Gilchrist. And then did you get a jump ball or a foul? I think it was a jump ball. And the possession arrow keeps it on this end of the floor. Murph going to the strike. Missing the first. Lob to the other end of the floor, comes up about 8 to 10 feet short. And we have wrapped up 3. And after 3, the lead has grown by 1 since halftime. It's a 22-point Coyote advantage.
When you're starting something new, it's never easy. You're going to make mistakes. You'll doubt yourself. But you're in a place that wants you to succeed, thrive. And soon, it will just start to feel right. Suddenly, you'll get it. Your fear will turn to confidence. First-time tasks become second nature. And what seemed impossible is right in front of your eyes. Because once the light bulb goes on, there's no turning back. You may wonder how you got here, and be glad you did. That's Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
We head into the fourth, a 22-point Coyote lead. First of a couple of games tonight here from the Cooper Center. Delgado with a basketball. It is taken away by Murph. In play to Murph, who brings it to the Coyote into the floor. Picks up the dribble. Gilchrist comes out. Murph over to Gilchrist. Lennox with it. Key into the ball game as we get fourth quarter play inside 9 minutes 30 seconds. Into the corner, Lennox with a miss. It is retrieved by Murph, able to get it back to Lennox. Lennox off the glass and rim. Bringing down the board is Miller. Over to the other side of the floor, Brumfield from the elbow. And Murph apparently getting Brumfield on the elbow. That'll put Brumfield at the line, shooting a couple. Murph trying to, I think, get the throw to Key, and it is tipped away. Addison with it currently for the Dolphins. And Key committing the foul. Gordon the recipient. She'll go to the line and shoot two. Still a 22-point lead. A couple of misses from the stripe by Gordon. Gilchrist to the other end of the floor and goes over to Lennox. Lennox at the timeline, feeds back out front to Murph. Into the paint, Key, and Key drawing a lot of attention. Foul committed and Key to the line. That will be charged to Miller. And Key making her first free throw visit. 34% free throw shooter, the number 5 rebounder in the ACCC Division II. And Miller coming out of the game. That might be her 5th. So she exits and Warren comes in. 1 of 2 goes Key. Well, the Coyotes tonight with an opportunity to couple their best offensive performance with their best defensive one. Most points on a given night, 65 against Delgado. The least number of points they have allowed was 62. So unless Delgado goes on a tear over the course of the next 8 minutes and 13 seconds, they are going to have their best defensive and might couple it with their best offensive if they can put 6 more on the board. Brumfield off the glass. And Lennox gets fouled, bringing it in. So Lennox shooting. 50% free throw shooter, nearly 5 points a game for Lennox. North with a visit from Albany Tech this Saturday. And then on Monday, a trip to Enterprise State. That's a big game. That's a conference game for the Boll Weevils and the Coyotes. First of the year. It is the first absolutely significant game. Addison says, heck, can't find anybody open. Takes the shot. Murph with a board. Lennox off the window. It is saved back onto the floor by Jean. But into the hands of Warren. Able to steal it. Lennox. And it looks like Gilchrist got fouled. So Gilchrist shooting. Addison coming out of the game. Tillman in for Delgado. First of a couple of games. The men about 20 minutes after this one wraps. They'll take to the hardwood and have their second meeting of the year. Gilchrist with 5 points the last time these two teams met. And apparently Warren got into the paint a little early. And Gilchrist will have another opportunity. A 44% free throw shooter on a team that shoots a little bit under 50%, 49.2 as a team. Stolen away by Jean. Lennox off the glass. And Coyotes with 7 minutes to play are a bucket away from their biggest offensive showing. Irving with a miss on the three. Murph's got it. Down the floor to Lennox. She couldn't catch up with the pass. And the Dolphins will put it in play. Swanning around, loose ball, retrieved by Jean. Couldn't get the pass she was looking for. Gordon able to take it and then just fires too tall and too strong to Irving. And the Coyotes will put it in play from the baseline on the opposite end of the floor. Murph to Lennox. Crusoe checking into the lineup. Got some first half minutes into the ball game now. Key bringing into the paint. It is swatted away by Tillman. And Key is back at the stripe. Well, taking a look at the Google Calendar to see what is coming up here on JockJive. Got football tomorrow night that we'll send to the NFHS, Bayside Academy and Southside Selma. Then on Saturday, you've got basketball both here and at Coastal South. Women's games only, Albany Tech and Coastal North at noon. And this Delgado team and Coastal South at 2 p.m. Then next week, well, I got to take the wife shopping. But after Turkey Day, the basketball resumes. We will be in Georgia for the first time this year. Americus and South Georgia Tech for their Thanksgiving Classic, 29th, 30th, and December 1. Air ball on the Gordon 3 try, and it'll be Coyote basketball. And let's see who all is involved in that. Albany Tech, Sneed State, USC, Salcahatchee, Andrew College, Cape Fear, and South Georgia Tech, all playing in that Classic. Off the glass. And the Coyotes now with their best offensive showing. Fed back over to Irving. Irving off the rim with a 3 try, rebounded by Jean. Hands it over to Murph. Murph outside of the paint, misfires, Keys put back good. Crusoe committing the foul on the Irving 3. So Irving will go to the stripe and shoot 3. Or will she? We'll find out coming out of the media timeout. Looks like we've got a break in the action. 4:48 to go. And the Coyotes on their way to their second win of the young year.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Thrown away on the inbounds, nearly taken away by Young, and then it did ricochet off Brumfield and will belong to the Coyotes. Nelson into the ball game, has it to the stripe, trying to feed it down low to Key. It is taken away. Irving's got it, going the other way, lays it up and not in. Ball touched by just about everybody wearing green or gold. Eventually Crusoe coming out of the pack with it. Feeds over to Key. Key into the paint. Will the bucket count and the foul? 2, it will. And Key shooting 1 after the 2. in a 71-37 game. Well, the Coyotes looking for some momentum going into the first conference game on Monday. Got this one, got Albany Tech on Saturday. Definitely liking the improvement over a New Orleans appearance earlier in November, in which the Coyotes only won by 2. Shot down low, Warren leans in off the glass. Back over it goes to Murph. Murph outside of the paint, misfires, put back from Key. And a timeout on the floor asked for by the Dolphins. Coyotes 74-39. About 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from a 2-5 mark. Well, Manny Armstrong, what a job a year ago. Division II Coach of the Year. First title for Coastal Alabama North. Winning the D2 ACCC Championship. And despite a 1-5 start, you got to believe they are right in the thick of things again this year. We'll find out a little more on Monday when they have their first conference game. Over to Addison with Nelson defending. Stolen away by Murph. Young with a miss after the feed. Warren's got it, goes the length of the floor to Addison. Lets the Coyote traffic go by and draws the foul. Crusoe guilty. And Addison will be shooting. Delgado, Coastal South, their next opponent on Saturday. Next home game for this New Orleans-based team will be the 3rd of December against Copiah Lincoln. Addison, 1 of 2, rebounded by Key. Over it goes to Murph. Nelson back to Murph, gives it to Crusoe. Off the window for Key. A little bit out of her range, and it'll go out of bounds, last touching a Coyote. Young coming out of the game. Gilchrist coming in. Handed over to Brumfield. Short on the 2 try, Nelson with the rebound. Works it to the other end of the floor and then gives over to Gilchrist. And Gilchrist misfires, trying to get it to Crusoe. Gordon fouled. Key is guilty. Gordon will shoot. 2:07 to play. First game in the twin bill. 20 minutes after this one. Raps Key out and Jean in. As Gordon shoots. Everybody on this Delgado squad from Louisiana. And Gordon from Carville, Louisiana. Tipped out of bounds, last touch by Gilchrist. And there's a walk by Brumfield. Nelson puts it in play to Gilchrist. Got a foul on Gordon. I'll check that. That's going to be on Gilchrist. So I thought it was going to be Gordon when he lifted up the three fingers, but it was Gilchrist. The Coyote wearing a three. Brumfield going to the stripe. One more shot for Brumfield. The freshman from Kentwood, Louisiana. I mentioned everybody is from Louisiana on this Delgado squad. But they seem to all be from different parts of Louisiana. Over to Nelson shooting the three off the rim. Retrieved by Crusoe. Jean with a miss, rebounded by Gilchrist. Over to Crusoe, and Crusoe walks. Dolphin basketball, just about a minute to go. Over to Addison. Coyotes about to go 2-1 against Louisiana teams. Even their Thursday mark to 1-1 and win their first home game. Over to Nelson. Gilchrist couldn't get the reverse. Gilchrist did get the rebound. Whips it over to Sanders, and Brumfield fouled her. In the last meeting between these two, Coyotes outscored the Dolphins in quarter number 2 and matched the Dolphins in 3. Dolphins won quarters 1 and 4. But a different story here in Monroeville. Sanders with a miss on the first of 2. She'll go 1 of 2. Over to Addison, top side. Crusoe reaches in. Loose ball, bodies on the floor. Let's see what the whistle's about. And a foul called on Nelson. Addison will shoot with 28 seconds left. Well, as I mentioned, the previous low that the Coyotes had held the team to was that 62 by South in overtime. Well, this one's going to be well below 62. Loose ball picked up by Jean, handed over to Gilchrist. Gilchrist with a miss. Rebounded by Irving. And you can hear somebody saying, no foul, no foul, no foul. And, well, you know what, you got to foul. Gilchrist out of the game, Murph in. And Delgado trying to put a few more on the board before wrapping this one up in 14 seconds. Both free throws good. And Murph's assignment, I think, run the clock out. And that's what she'll do. This one is final, a 75-44 total. Coyotes winning their second of the year. And it is the second win over this Delgado squad. 75-44 your final. And the Coyotes are now 2-5 on the year. Got one more game before conference play begins on Monday. We've got another game before the night wraps up. The Delgado men and the Coastal North men. That's about 20 minutes away. We will see you then. For the Coastals and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.